Okay, now we can order the transmitters and the antennas. As you can see, the masts are ready, the buildings are ready, the generator rooms, everything. The generators are to be ordered locally. In fact, we've booked it from the Gambia Electrical Company, Carnifing, for 4 generators.
Despite that piece of good news, the satellite project is still young. The whole $12 million project embodies goals that may sound inspirational to many. By Sanyang again.
There will be this OB van for the TV, 6 cameras, and the OB van for the radio too. And there will be this, the most important part is this component is the mobile satellite truck. That means anywhere we go, we can put on live link. There's no need to record and take the tapes to the studio. We can dim like. So there will be a special truck for that. And also there will be a virtual studio, and not only that, there will be also editing seats. So it will be a massive boost for GRTS.
Once the funds are secured, all the transmitter stations will be supplied with the requisite resources, both human and material. The benefits to be derived are twofold. Communities will have their own FM stations, and secondly, no Gambian will need a satellite to tune into GRTS TV. Access to the TV will also be nationwide. In a related development, GRTS also completed the payment of a fencing project at Basse Mansajankunda. The site is set aside for the construction of 2 guest houses for members of staff. During his leisure time, Mr. Sanyang led his team to Radio Basse. Manager Nuhabaji could not hide his emotions. He was a happy man. The GRTS satellite project is an ambitious one. As its benefits show signs of trickling down, the delight of locals is evident. In Kudam particularly, the indigents seem desperate to have reliable radio and TV transmission. For now, however, most of them rely on their phones for communication. Modu Lamin Sise, GRTS News.
Interesting. You can follow that story and other GRTS programs live on our website, and that's on www.grts.gm. There you can also monitor GRTS Radio live. Well, time now to take our first break. We'll be right back.
For their family, a comfortable home to live in, and a secured income. We want to see our children go to school, graduate. We want to let them be empowered and be able to provide them a financially stable future. Whether we are there to see it through or not, it is still our responsibility to make that dream come true. IIC offers a series of life assurance plans at competitive prices with the objective to provide security for you and your loved ones. We offer group life policy, Comfort 5 assurance, individual term assurance, secure loan plans, house purchase plans, and children's educational plans. IIC Life Assurance Plans, a better life guaranteed.
IIC International Insurance Company, the insurers you can trust.
Welcome back. Early results in Senegal's presidential election indicate a close call between incumbent Abdoulaye Wade and opposition candidate and mayor of Fatick, Macky Sall. The former prime minister's camp seems to be preparing for a second round of voting. Meanwhile, the Wade camp is tight-lipped about the potential outcome of the votes. We have details in this report.
The party's already underway for some in Senegal. Early results in the country's presidential elections have left former Prime Minister Macky Sall and his team predicting a second round of voting is inevitable. Unofficial figures show Macky Sall and incumbent President Abdoulaye Wade running neck and neck. A second round of voting will probably take place on the 18th of March. After Macky Sall voted in the city of Fatick, where he's mayor, he paid visits to religious leaders in the capital Dakar. Some say he's acting as though the second round is already underway. For the time being, the presidential camp is keeping quiet. Without firm results, it's not making any rushed judgments. But it's clear on one thing, there's no shame in facing a second round of voting. According to the country's Independent Electoral Commission, initial results are expected for Tuesday. While the final outcome remains unclear, one thing is certain. The deadly pre-election violence has, for the moment at least, been replaced by a fragile calm.
A suspected suicide bomber has hit a church packed with worshippers in the Nigerian city of Jos. At least 6 people were reported dead and many more injured. Militant group Boko Haram says it carried out the deadly attacks. Local authorities in the area are calling for calm. Let's look at this report for more on that.
Service had been going on for just 30 minutes when a violent explosion shook one of the biggest Christian churches of Jos in Plateau State. Over 600 people were inside the building at the time.
We were attacked by a suicide bomber who came in a car loaded with bombs. He wanted to run right inside the church, but he couldn't enter.
The explosion was followed by chaos and panic. What's left of the car that was used to carry out the attack and the state of the building highlight just how violent the explosion was. 3 people died, including a child, and dozens were injured. The attack has been claimed by the Islamist group Boko Haram, who is waging an open war against authorities in Lagos and the Christian community. In retaliation, Christian youths demonstrated violently, killing 3 people and burning down shops held by Muslims. On television, local authorities have called for calm, saying security measures had been taken to avoid more clashes. President Goodluck Jonathan has condemned these actions that threaten the country's peace.
Well, time now to take a look at sports. Steven Gerrard, the captain of Liverpool Football Club, has challenged his teammates to use their first trophy for 6 years to inspire a return to their glory days. They won the Curling Cup after a thrilling penalty shootout against Cardiff City at the new Wembley Stadium. We have details in this report.
The Premier League, yet they took the lead in the opening 20 minutes at Wembley Stadium on Sunday. And Liverpool had to wait until the second half to get back on level terms. Stuart Downing taking the corner, and eventually the ball fell to Martin Skirtle to stab home. The defender pleased and slightly shocked. In extra time then, Liverpool taking the lead with a goal from Dirk Kuyt at the second attempt, and most assumed that would be enough. However, Cardiff scored again. Another corner, another set piece, another Liverpool defensive mistake. It was 2-2, so a penalty shootout, shredded nerves everywhere, and it got the better of 5 players from the first 10 spot kicks. Downing was on target for Liverpool though, and in the end their victory was sealed when Steven Gerrard's cousin, would you believe, playing for Cardiff, missed his penalty. The Reds, League Cup winners for a record 8th time.
And before we go, reminder of our headlines. Government has denounced the burning of copies of the Holy Quran by U.S. forces in Afghanistan in the strongest possible terms. The Fadaga Foundation has rewarded President Jammeh's impressive development track record by presenting him the Belinda Bidwell Memorial Man of the Decade Award. Fisheries Ministry officials are trying to come to terms with and establish what has killed a shoal of juvenile sardinella fish, the second in as many months. Early results from Senegal's presidential polls have indicated a tight race between incumbent President Wade and key opposition candidate Macky Sall. And a suspected suicide bomber has hit a fully packed church in Jos, Nigeria, killing 6 people and injuring countless others. You can also follow that story and other GRTS programs live on our website, and that's on www.grts.gm. There you can also monitor GRTS Radio live. That brings us to the end of this edition of our News at 10. Thank you very much for your time and have a very good week ahead.